Hello and welcome. Isn't it amazing to think that a whole story, a piece of wisdom that has survived for thousands of years, can be captured in just four simple characters? Today, we're going to dive into one of those stories. And here they are, Chún Wáng Chǐ Hán. On the surface, they're just ink on a page. But these characters carry a powerful warning that comes to us from a time of constant conflict in China, well over 2,000 years ago. So, let's unpack the story they tell. To really get what this warning is all about, we first have to see the image that it paints in our minds. Let's just take a look at each character on the screen, one by one, and let that picture take shape. Okay, so let's start with this first character you see, Chun. It's pronounced Chun, and it simply means the lips. Next up, we have Wang. Wang. This character means are gone, or even more strongly, to perish. Following that, we come to Chì. Chì, which means, as you might guess, the teeth. And the last character is Han. Han. This means to feel cold. So when you string them all together, they create this really clear, almost physical image. When the lips are gone, the teeth feel cold. So where on earth does this phrase come from? Well, to understand that, we've got to travel way back in time, to what's known as the Spring and Autumn period in China. It was a really chaotic era with alliances forming and breaking all the time. The powerful state of Jin is looking to get even bigger, and it's got its eyes on two of its smaller neighbors, the states of Guo and Yu. Now, these two have been relying on each other for survival for a long, long time. The ruler of Jin has a plan. He wants to take over the state of Guo. The only catch is, the state of Yu is sitting right in the middle of his path. But instead of just using brute force, he gets clever. He uses temptation. You see, he knows the ruler of Yu is greedy, so he sends an absolutely irresistible bribe, a priceless jade disc, and a legendary horse, one so fast it was said it could travel 1,000 miles in a day. And what's the price for all this treasure? Just let the Jin army pass through your lands. That's it. And the ruler of Yu, completely blinded by the thought of this immediate gain, is very, very tempted. But not everyone was fooled. As you can see, there was one person, a wise advisor named Gong Zhiqi, and he saw right through this. He saw the trap. He goes rushing to his ruler, pleading with him, and he speaks these very words, the ones that would become famous. He warns him that Guo and Yu are like the lips and the teeth. Guo, he explains, is their outer protection. They are the lips. If they fall, then Yu, the teeth, will be left completely exposed to the cold, harsh wind. And this is really where you see the clash, right? Two totally different ways of looking at the world. On one hand, you have the ruler, who can only see the glittering prize right in front of him. He thinks he's about to make a brilliant deal. But on the other hand, you have his advisor, Gong Zhiqi, who's looking at the bigger picture, at long-term survival. He understands that their safety doesn't come from gifts from the powerful, but from protecting their neighbors. And, well, things unfold exactly the way the wise advisor feared they would. The ruler ignores the warning, he takes the bribe, and he opens his roads to the Jin army. The army marches right through, just as planned, and conquers Guo. And then, on their way back home, they simply turn their forces on the very state that helped them. The state of Yu, now totally alone and exposed, falls almost instantly. The ruler's greed cost him everything. And just like that, the teeth were left exposed without the lips to protect them from the cold. And that's really the heart of it, isn't it? That tragedy is what gives this phrase so much power, even today. It's more than just a clever saying. It's a lesson that was paid for with the destruction of an entire kingdom. So, what does Chún Wáng Chǐ Hán really mean for us today? It's become this powerful metaphor for any situation where two groups are so closely connected that the fate of one directly affects the other. To hurt your partner is, in the end, to hurt yourself. It's a timeless warning against making those kinds of short-sighted choices that ignore the delicate web of connections that holds us all up. You know, what's just incredible to me is how a warning from a Bronze Age battlefield can still hit so close to home today. The world has changed so much, but that fundamental truth about needing each other, that hasn't changed one bit. It really makes you think, doesn't it? Where do we see this playing out in our own lives, in our neighborhoods, at our jobs, maybe even between countries on the world stage? Where are the lips in our lives that are protecting our teeth? Here's a perfect example from the modern world of work. Imagine a big company that depends on a much smaller supplier. In this scenario, the supplier is the lips, right? They're the outer protection. And the big company, well, they're the teeth.
Now, it might be tempting for the big company to squeeze that supplier on price to make a little extra profit in the short term, but if that pressure causes the supplier to fail, the corporation's entire supply chain is suddenly in danger. It's like the ghost of Gong Zhiqi is right there in the boardroom, reminding everyone, if the lips are gone, the teeth will be cold.
Learn Chinese one story at a time.